I think we called this at the press conference. Big surprise, Ben McAdoo has been fired and didn't last 2 seasons.
Well,
you called him out on his big suit.
Ill-fitting suit.
Just didn't
He looked
look like a head
he looked
coach.
like a big dummy
Bad
from day
mustache.
one. Instant
Right.
look.
Terrible haircut.
I'm sorry, that guy's not going to – he's not any good.
All right, it's a big surprise.
If you
He's
can't
out.
dress, you can't coach. I mean, not that Belichick can dress, but
Yeah.
I mean, he at least wears clothes that fit.
Hey, wears hoodies that fit.
Yeah. I mean, he cuts off the sleeves. He's got a terrible look.
Yeah. Well, if you got no control of your locker room, you definitely have no future with that
Well, and you win
organization.
2 games.
Yeah.
What a disaster, though, the last
What are they
10
doing?
days.
I mean, what are they doing?
Supposedly it was the owner
That
who
initiated some of it.
initiated benching Eli, and then the head coach gets in trouble for following the owner's.
Listen, it was inevitable. Like
Message?
you say with Jay, it's inevitable. If it's not this year,
I
it'll be
think
next
so.
year. Right. I'm not arguing with you. It was inevitable. What's the difference? You wait 4
You
weeks.
knew he was a dead man
I'm not
walking.
disagreeing
He
with the
was so
move.
dead.
I'm just, again, saying big surprise
They did
Ben
him a
McAdoo's
favor.
out.
They
Okay,
did him
but
a
then you
favor.
go back to Eli?
Because I don't think Eli is horrible. That team is horrible.
It is, but again, we've talked about this a million times. What's the point of playing Eli
Right, they could
now?
win.
Well,
they
because
right now,
He may not be there next year.
They right now
I would bet that he's not.
They right now are going to be able to draft Darnold or Rosen if you started the draft
Well,
right
you know
now.
what they should do? Draft Darnold or Rosen and sit him for a year, or at least half
Okay,
the
that's
year.
fine. But they may be in a position if Eli steals a game and they win a game where they can't get Darnold or Rosen, and everybody says it's
I'm pretty sure
two.
Eli's not going to steal him a game. They're 2-10.
All right, well, what if
He
they
hasn't
what if they
stolen
finish
anything.
4-12?
Hurts their draft stock.
I mean, you could do that. I just,
You know?
again, I'm kind of against all of
And
that.
then what if you really don't want Darnold? Like, what if you really want Rosen? Right?
Why? You're assuming, because I don't know. You're assuming Rosen's going to go higher than Darnold. I don't know what they're
I
projecting.
think Rosen is more prepared for the NFL than Darnold. I think Darnold should come back to school.
Darnold
I don't
throws
think he's
a lot
ready.
of picks. I had him
Now,
on
he'll
the
go-
college fantasy
yeah,
team.
He'll
He throws
go
a lot of picks.
He'll go in the top 5 to 7 because
Quarterbacks
people
go too
are just
high. When
they're
I saw
desperate.
Darnold, I wasn't that impressed. But
He
I
could use some
also
more
know Rosen has
seasoning.
had some bad games too. I've heard people trash Rosen.
Well, Rosen
Oh,
wouldn't
they're not
have.
Andrew Luck's in this upcoming
Rosen
draft.
wouldn't have the quarterback effect that Dave Bartu talks about because his team
Right.
wasn't very good.
Rosen didn't have the overall talent that Darnold had around him.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Rosen, they're playing in a bowl game. I wouldn't be surprised if Rosen says, I ain't
Sits it
playing.
out. Yeah, that's what a lot of
Because that
people are
happened
saying.
last year, right? But getting back to the Giants, I wonder if ownership signed off on the benching of Eli, thinking that McAdoo was going to play Davis Webb and not Geno Smith.
Well, you think they would have addressed
know.
that? You think you would have thought they would have addressed that?
Correct. But then why are they going back to Eli? There was a miscommunication somewhere in
Because
there.
I think they're
Somewhere
catering to
down
the
the
fan
ladder.
base.
I think they're catering
To the fan base,
base.
yeah.
F
the,
the fan
the
base.
That's so
radio
dumb.
listeners,
If
the
you-
media,
if you
the
cater to a fan,
newspapers.
if you're a professional team and you cater to a fan base, you should go out of business.
I mean, what-
you're a stupid franchise.
You
I
need
think
to
that's
have
what
a
they're doing
plan.
now.
You need to have a plan. I get it. Eli has been a great player for them. He's won a couple rings, might be going to Hall of Fame, but you have to move forward. You know, it's hard. It's really hard to move forward from a legacy player. I get it, but you have to do it.
No, Cakes, this is what they're doing. Remember when Coke came out with the original new
Sure.
Coke?
Yeah.
And they dropped
the original formula
original
that people
formula.
loved for 100 years.
and they got just killed.
yeah.
They bowed to the pressure, created Coca-Cola Classic for a while.
Yeah.
And eventually they just dropped the new Coke. And I know they're doing something new now. What is it? Coke Zero Sugar or
Yes.
whatever the heck's going on.
Right.
But
They're going back to the original
they
Coke.
caved because it was universally panned in New York, the newspapers, all of the media, but all across the country. Everybody ripped the move. Why are you benching Eli? This is classless. So they're trying to right a wrong. The problem is it's too late.
And then you bench him so he loses his game streak. Not that the game streak should really mean anything in the end, but and then you go right back to him the week later.
Well, I'm also going to argue with the premise, and this is simply because I haven't seen him play that much, and I'm also basing this on a buddy of mine who is a Giants fan who watches him every week, that he's only 36. I'm not convinced that he's anywhere close to done. So
He
I
might
think,
be able to help a team that's kind of on the rise or maybe really close, a quarterback away, like a Jacksonville. But why play him in New York?
It doesn't make any
you
sense.
I
gotta
think he
move
has
on.
3 good years left in him.
Three might be a lot.
Three's a stretch. He has to have a really good team around
He's
him.
not
for
Tom
three.
Brady.
Strong kid. He's a big, strong kid.
He has double touchdown to interception ratio. This right?
Yeah.
2-1.
He's just got
14 to
low.
7.
Okay, but he throws for 120 yards every week.
Yeah,
He's
the
got nobody to
team
throw
is
to.
awful.
Okay, but that's fine. A lot of quarterbacks have no one to throw to, and they still move the ball.
Right.
Jimmy Garoppolo had no one to throw to.
I
He's
think his
marching the
offensive
team up and down
coordinator
the field
sucks,
on
which is
Sunday.
McAdoo, right? He's the offensive guy.
Yeah, McAdoo.
He
He has
benched
no shot.
himself though. Remember, he did the old move.
That was
where
like a week or two ago, though,
he
right?
quit play
Very
calling.
recently.
So did Andy Reid.
I
That
know,
didn't work
but-
out so well either.
But it actually worked out for
But
their
the
offense.
bowing down to the fan base, it's the same thing happened at University of Tennessee. John Curry, who Peyton wanted, who Bill Belichick said was a great coach, who Urban Meyer said was a great coach, and there was a few hundred fans, maybe a few thousand who didn't like it, and he basically fired
He
him.
succumbed to the Twitter mob.
John Curry should have sat up there in the press conference and said, he's my guy. If you don't like it, fire me.
You're talking about Shiano.
Shano.
Yeah.
They bowed down to the
I
fan
thought that
base.
was a good hire. I thought you were against it at the time.
Oh, I didn't like the hire, but if you're going to hire him, don't let the fans fire
Right,
him.
you got to stick to your guns. You have to have some conviction
Don't be
with
a
your
puss.
hire.
Don't be a
Of course.
puss. Go up there and say, that's my guy.